Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. My name's Kate, and on this channel I like to talk about the good, the bad, and the very bad of cinema. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 movies that are so good, so amazing, but I will never watch them again. First on my list is 1995's Leaving Las Vegas. A man with a unusual goal befriends a sex worker while visiting Vegas. Some people hate this movie, but I love it regardless of never wanting to see it again. In my opinion, this is one of, if not the best performance from Nicolas Cage. For me, the tone was set from the beginning. God, the way he says "I'm sorry" in this scene.
We really liked having you around. But you know how it is. I'm sorry.
Just yanked at my heartstrings. I immediately looked over at my partner and I was like, I think I'm gonna cry. And I did, and I want to cry right now just thinking about it because it was so authentic to me. And the dynamic between him and his boss in this scene, not much needs to be said, but a lot is conveyed. So, like, without spoiling anything, it's just a situation of, you could tell his boss cares. And it's one of those things where, hey, this is a business and you need to get it together, but I know why you can't get it together. And both of them just knowing that nothing good is gonna happen after this. Ugh. So obviously nothing happy happens in this film. However, the relationship between his character and Elizabeth Shue's is so beautiful. There is such a tenderness when they're together that is so touching. It drowns out all the fast-paced harshness of the Vegas scenery behind them. Just two people who unknowingly needed each other in this brief time. The comfort of existing with another human with no judgments. I find it a disservice and almost gross that this is labeled as an erotic romance film. I'm going to put a trigger warning here, so if you don't want to know spoilers or anything, just skip ahead like 30 seconds. But there is a long SA scene. I can't tell you how graphic it is because I honestly covered my eyes and ears once it started and had my partner let me know when it was over with. I can only think of 2 scenes involving physical activities that, if those are what is labeling this as erotic, that's repulsive. After such a horrific act, I didn't think the weight of this film could push me down even more, but of course it found a way to give me a kick in the teeth during the final scene. I was just so emotionally drained. I just felt so connected to these characters, and my heart still just breaks knowing that there's people going through something like this, and I wish I could give them a hug. If you want an unconventional, upsetting, but somehow very sweet film that might make you feel hollowed out at the end, I'd give this one a perfect 10. Next on my list, I have Beautiful from 2010. A devoted father is put between a rock and a hard place when his health takes a turn for the worst and he needs to get his affairs in order. Before Revenant fame, Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu directed this classic story of good people having to do bad things. I saw a comment that called this film Spain without the S, and after the emotional toll this 2.5-hour runtime took on me, that rings true. Every moment has a quiet sadness to it. Even the simplicity of the cinematography manages to carry heaviness. I love Javier Bardem. He is so talented and underrated, and also very handsome. His performance as a good man trying to provide for his family by any means necessary is so heartbreaking. The whole movie, I just wanted to give him the biggest hug. I just wanted someone to give him a perfect solution, but no one would be able to do that. It confronted me with the spiral-inducing question of, what would happen to my children if I'm gone? If you're up for a very long, very slow, melancholic masterpiece, consider this, but don't be surprised if you might need to lie down for a little bit afterwards. And always remember, hug your babies tight. Also, check out his other Divine film, 21 Grams. I will watch that again, but I want to shout it out here because I think it deserves a little bit more love. Moving along, another movie I will never watch again is 2021's Knit Ram. A firework-loving, volatile young man with an intellectual disability becomes increasingly unstable after meeting an eccentric woman. I never hear anybody talk about this movie, so it might just be me, but I found this film to be an incredibly hard watch. Literally, for the entire 2-hour runtime, all I felt was distress. I went into this completely blind. I just picked it one day as a crochet day flick, and low-key wish I had picked something else. I really wanted to turn this off quite a few times, but I just powered through it. There's tension from start to finish. There's a feeling almost like a fight or flight reaction to the bone-chilling performance from Caleb Landry Jones. I am very happy he won an award for it because he was phenomenal. The scenery, the color grading, the camera work, while gorgeous, create a bleak, almost claustrophobic dread in every shot. Since I didn't know anything about this film, I was unaware of the true story behind it, which was an extra slap in the face when the credits started to roll. I really do love when films let you sit in silence like this one does. It really allows me to be fully absorbed in the moment, even if what's happening is horrible. Probably why I found this unbearable at times. This film is a good reminder that no matter how the media paints people that commit these atrocities as monsters and boogeymen, they are unfortunately just human. It's not really a film I would recommend, but if you want to be depressed and furious at humanity, give it a go. Sliding into the next spot is The Last King of Scotland from 2006. On a medical mission, a doctor becomes close to a dictator, but begins to spiral after realizing his complicity. Oh boy! I saw this when it first came out, so I was probably 16 to 18 years old. I know, I'm old. My iPhone camera reminds me every single day. But that should tell you how much this film has stuck with me. I am still waiting for James McAvoy to get the recognition he deserves, but at least Forrest Whitaker did. He put in his whole Watusi and then some. I am so glad he snagged the Oscar. He was terrifying. His abrupt personality switches made me walk on eggshells and I was sitting down. And I'm still haunted by his wife, my queen, Kerry Washington. No spoilers, but one of her scenes is the first thing that comes to my mind whenever this movie crosses my path. As a dumb teenager, I did not know the history behind this man or the brutality that people suffered underneath him. I can't even fathom how intense and awful a factual film would be. I saw this film so long ago, it might not be as rough as I remember it being, but I don't really care to find out. Let me know if I should give it another shot or not. If you like biographical films that descend into darkness, maybe you'll like this. And for my final spot on my list of amazing movies I'll never watch again, it goes to 2018's Climax. After a rehearsal, dancers have a long night ahead of them when they unknowingly drink more than sangria. Can you believe this came out 7 years ago? That's insane, but not as insane as this movie. I did a double feature one day. First I watched Killing of a Sacred Deer, and immediately afterwards I watched this. To say it was a long day is an understatement. Lots of emotions. I was pretty tired at the end of it. As most say, the dancing in this is phenomenal. Everyone's movement is so uniquely hypnotic. Out of all of Gaspar Noé's films, this film made this non-smoker need a cigarette. It felt way longer than an hour and a half, like a purgatory that is an unrelenting sensory nightmare. It is an entanglement of jarring, assaultive, bizarre, and yet somehow graceful, compelling, and mesmerizing scenes that do create a cohesive story. The anxiety I felt was unparalleled, especially during a scene involving a child that likes to pop into my head unprovoked to this day because it was so miserable to sit through. I'm gonna put another trigger warning here, so skip ahead, but if you didn't know, Gaspar Noé loves when pregnant women get kicked in the stomach, so there is that. With all that being said, I'm glad I saw it. 5 stars, won't watch again. This might tickle your pickle if you like psychedelic chaos, violence, awful people that can boogie, all wrapped up in an art house film with creative lighting and a fire soundtrack. You may need to take some ibuprofen and scream afterwards though. Thank you so much for watching this video. If there is a movie you've seen that you never want to watch again despite thinking it was amazing, let me know what it is down in the comments. Maybe I will check it out and make a part 2 to this video. Bye! Go.
I feel better.